So that's how this came about, this little parade. I just wanted to say one word about wind cover because so many people ask me questions about it. This was a former farm. It was indeed. This building didn't exist then, but it looks old because it was made with old board, pine paneling and old boarding. But most of it was here in very disreputable disrepair. And my husband fell in love with it. And I said, what are we going to do with the farm? I don't farm. He said, I'll make you a dance place. And he did. All of this is his work. Everything that you see, all the stained glass windows he found. He was a teacher at Manchester High School, and every day after school he would load up his station wagon with all kinds of things bartered from antique stores. And the place is just filled with gems like that, and it has that personal, wonderful, quirky touch. And that's why everyone loves it. That and the fact that we do dance performances here outdoors, and what better place can dance be than outdoors against trees and with a moonlit sky. You should come tomorrow night. We're having a dance performance tomorrow night again, and we had one last night. What we do basically here are workshops. That's primarily my thrust, because I like to see young people learning about the arts. And we had, for example, a 2-week cello workshop there. We had 14, 15-year-olds playing the cello all day. It was very interesting, wonderful. And dance workshops, of course, theater workshops. So basically, it's a place where young people come and stay and live and learn about the arts. And occasionally we do performances and cabarets. So welcome and enjoy yourselves.
Lights off. Wait. House lights on. David? Go. I'd love to live in the land of lasting dreams, chasing shadows over rainbows and catching wild winds, to live in the land of lasting dreams, watching stars pour out of moonbeams, seeing clouds that run away, stars in the land of lasting dreams, watching darkness capture daylight, knowing sunrise will set it free, to live in the land of lasting dreams, hearing the echo of stars play a rhapsody, knowing the tune is a prayer.
It was Elizabethan England. The most important thing about the Elizabethan period was that the first time mankind, every house had a knife. Not a gun, not a howitzer, not a grenade, but a good old knife. Now, it's full of foibles. For instance, number one, important foible is the problem of the play, that boys have to be brought up like men, and girls have to be Betty Crocker. And therefore, it's the problem of the changeling child. When I make play later on, I need cake. The problem is that Titania has the changeling child. Oberon thinks boys should be boys, and they should be with their father and taught to be men. But, and so he's just a little bit nuts. I know a bank where the wine time blows. There my queen lies in slumber. Thus she sleeps sometime of night. Love, in those flowers I will find her. There on the bank where the wine time grows, where my queen doth sleep, with a juice of this flowered herb, her eyes will streak. When she awakes, she will see naught but hateful fantasy. None shall from this grove flee till I've avenged my injury. There in a soft and a flowery bed, covered over with woodbine, there where the sweet nodding vine grows, there for vengeance will be mine. When liquor on her eyes I lay, she shall her debt with interest pay. When she awakes, whate'er she spies, she dotes upon with distracted eyes. I know a bank where the wild time blows, there my queen lies in slumber. Thus she sleeps some time of night, love in those flowers I will find her. There on the bank where the wild time blows, there I shall torment her. Ere I take this charm from her sight, she her page shall render. Bottoms up! Get on stage, you fool!
My mistress with the monster is in love. My mistress with the monster is in love. My mistress with the monster. My mistress with the monster. My mistress with the monster is in love. She waits and dotes upon him by the hour, while safely hidden in her secret bower. She sprays, then he races, with a glow and dulcet phrases. Oh, my mistress with the monster is in love. Fondles him and makes him all her joy. She loves his hairy cheeks and ears to coy. She sings in every measure of his hairy monster is in love. A crew of hatches, rude mechanicals that could regret Athenian stalls were met together to rehearse a play intended for Theseus' nuptial day. The gallows, thick-skinned, barbarian sort, with countless presented in their sport, forsook his scene and entered a brake, where I did him some advantage take, and as his knoll I placed on his head. Anon their Thisbe must be answered, and forth he comes when they him spy. His fear, his fellows away do fly. I led them forth in distracted fear, and look, sweet Pyramus translated here, and in that moment it did arise to tango wings and love an ass. Oh, my mistress with a monster is in love. My mistress with a monster is in love. My mistress with a monster. My mistress with a monster. My mistress with a monster is in love.
This falls out better than I could devise. With such a love to wake and to arise. She sings in every measure, oh, our hairy-headed treasure, oh, our mistress with a monster is in love. With a monster, with a monster, with a monster, with a monster, oh, mistress with a monster is in love. Well, the Elizabethan period faded, and with it came Oliver Cromwell, and during the Puritan reign, nobody had a good time. Especially me, it was really very dull. It made my teen years very, very boring. However, after Cromwell was outed, Charles II and the Restoration period came. Now, during the Restoration period, the arts were restored, and music was restored, and the theaters were reopened, and, well, Legacy is based on a play by William Wycherley called The Country Wife, and it was produced in 1675, and I think the best way of explaining the Restoration period is school's out, teacher let the monkey out.
Dirty, filthy, nasty, vile, disgusting Mr. Horner, have you heard about this evil man? He's a eunuch.
Dirty, filthy, nasty, vile, disgusting Mr. Horner, disgusting Mr. Horner, this very evil man, He's a eunuch.
Dirty, filthy, nasty, vile, disgusting Mr. Horner, have you heard about this very evil man? He's a eunuch! Dirty, filthy, nasty, vile, disgusting Mr. Horner. Dirty, filthy, nasty, vile, disgusting Mr. Horner. Have you heard about this really evil man?
He's a eunuch!
Evil is never simple.
Well, Doctor, hast thou done as I desire?
Horner, thou art undone.
I hope you told them all. I hope you spread the secret coming down. Horner, whose name is a legacy. Horner, who's known as the rake, Hell's king. Horner, alas, has lost his sting. Have you heard the tragic news about
our old friend Horner? He came back from a little in the sun.
He's a eunuch.
He's a eunuch. Have you heard the tragic news about my old friend Horner? He came back from France a little indisposed.
France a little indisposed.
Have you heard the tragic news about our old friend Horner? He came back from France a little indisposed. He's a eunuch!
With the help of the ladies of the faucet, it was done with ease. Here's the tale I spread of you and the old French disease. 'Twas pride, said I, that got you to the surgeon late. The only thing that could be done was to amputate. I said Since coming out of France, what you had before is left behind without a lance. Your silly days are o'er. I swore each lady's secret, so they'll spread it up and down. And thus 'tis sure you are undone with every vein in town.
Have you heard the tragic news about an open board? He came back and rattled little indisposed.
He's a eunuch.
Have you heard the tragic news about our open
Some men like to swagger about the streets, not I. Others like to brag of romantic feats, not I. Thus it should suffice to say my pleasure lies another way. Fools show all the riches they possess, not I. Wise men show a little and save the rest, says I. Talking gives so little, than when doing it is all the fun, says I. Says I, says I. Queen Rose heaven image they must not mar, not I. Just to seem much better than they are, not I. Yes, this is their only place. I'm in search of other way. Thus it should suffice to say my pleasure lies another way.
He came back and rattled little indisposed.
Heaven's image they must not mar, not
Have you heard the
I.
tragic news about our open board? He came back and rattled little indisposed. He's a eunuch! Thank you, gentlemen. Another thank you. Now, every composer should write at least one willow song to the willow tree. And it kind of covers one of mankind's principal foibles. They only like the one that got away.
Thus lies the wind in the willow tree, and my love is gone, gone like the wind in the willow tree, and with him goes my song, and with him goes my song, and with
double standard did not begin in 1995. It was not foreign to Restoration. It was not foreign to Elizabethan. I think it is quite local. 'Twas many a night I went hovering around with the sluts and the baggage of London town. 'Twere common as dirt, and in numbers so many, they went hand to hand like a warm copper penny. But once in the country some rare gold I found, 'twas virgin pure, unravaged and sound. I then pressed upon it without hesitation my own private seal to avoid circulation. Old friends I must fear, for 'tis nature of man that if one coin collects to get more if you can. A whore to myself I never could keep, and while oats I have sown, I don't want to read.
I want to go walking through London town and see all the pretty young men. For I've never been in London town and may never be here again. I want to look down from London Bridge and see the brave sailors below. Bump into a city five-person edge who'll take me to see a fine show. I furiously wanted to see the big crowd the beefeaters keep in the town. To venture to town in my very best gown and to gaze at the King Florida. I want to go walking through London town and smile at the gentry I see. I want to go walking through London town and see who will smile back at me.
Privilege is never bestowed upon those who could use it best like we could. We could. Special favors never fall to those who are in wretched, awful need. When a wind attracts your eye, you will find her keeper by guarding the portal. That is a fact. But had you not lost it there, she would haunt you everywhere, and you never get her off your back. When you see the shadow of a man escort a very lovely lady, 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 one who like a ripened fruit arouses irresistible desire, desire. Don't it make you tear your hair? See privilege waves it there, so rich the vine, the juiciest grape. Yet if I who still can hop thought to harvest such a crop, honor would come to my grave. When you're short a shilling and you have to raise one, wish you get some, get some, get some, get some, get some, whims. Hence the uncle who, being over 92, should very shortly meet his demise. When at last he drifts away, you are old with hair and gray, and you find it's much too late for something to arise. Bestowed upon those who could use it best like we could. Special favors never fall to those who are in wretched, awful need. Husbands do not say to us, since you are so vigorous, visit my wife, you'll never be refused. For if virtue carries age, grants no privilege to raise, for he knows all privilege will be used. days when I was young and foolish, was a very dear friend of mine by the name of Walter Bowden, who passed away 10 years ago, but Georgia did from New York. Walt was head of the drama department at Amherst College, and I was guest artist there. And we produced this craziness, and we worked together for 18 years thereafter. Now, I didn't write that. It's a song by Kerry Jacobs Bond. When you're an actor, composer in New York, you don't give up your day job because you're not that foolish. And one day I was working at the restaurant, Gianni's at Seaport, and my mother was almost standing right next to me singing this song. Now, she'd been dead for at least 5 years. She'd been sick, very ill, for at least 25 years. So I never, ever really grieved for her. But that day I simply went home.
When you come to the end of a perfect day, and you sit alone with your thoughts,
It was an old song I'd forgotten. It was a voice from a long time past, with a smile that I remember, on a face that loved to laugh. On a day I felt deserted, after years of nothing new. All at once I wasn't lonely in a crowded room. There was singing, there was laughter, and then music filled the air. All at once I was surrounded by an old forgotten song, sung by a voice that was not there. And no one else was listening, because no one else could hear. Yet I was filled with music by an old forgotten song that sang, I love you, in my ear. It was my mother who was singing. It was a voice from a long time past, and that smile I still remember on her face that loved to laugh. On a day I felt deserted, after years of nothing new, I was standing, laughing, crying in that crowded room, as her singing and her laughter and her music filled the air. All my wasted years surrendered to an old forgotten song sung by a voice that was not there. And I knew no one else was listening, and that no one else could hear. Yet I was filled with music by an old forgotten song that sang, I love you, in my ear. Song I'd forgotten. It was a voice from long time past, and with that smile I still remember on that face that loved to laugh. I no longer felt deserted, and the years of nothing new vanished into words and music in that crowded room, as her singing and her laughter and her music filled the air, leaving only love remembered by an old forgotten song sung by a voice that was not there. I wished everyone could listen, but I knew no one else could hear, as I was filled with music by an old forgotten forgotten song that sang I love you in my ear. It was an old song I'd forgotten. When you come out with a carol hay and the dear friends have to part, and I love you. It was an old song I'd forgotten. Love doesn't die. It may change, but it still stays love. And hate and greed and all the rest of it destroys itself, unfortunately, sometimes not soon enough. When I was a child, I sang a lot. I had my own television show. And I did opera by the time I was my grandchildren's age, which is 9. I became kind of a smart aleck, so my mother decided that I had to go to Wood, Wisconsin, which was the veterans' home, and sing with the veterans, which I did. These were the men coming back from Korea without arms, without legs, without lungs. And I did it for 2 years, and every time I sang, they made a 78 recording. And most of them had gone by the wayside. Well, my father died 4 years ago at the age of 96. He was a wonderful man. And when we were clearing out his house, I came upon 6 records left. I put the first record on with the mother singing that song. And it was just... Now we come to the sing-along time. Mr. Bowden, please. Yes. You see, this number requires casts of 1,000. That's it. 42. And the thing is, I have to play the piano, and I'm a lousy pianist. The only word for it is... So, Ray's going to sing the tune for you, that is the chorus. This has to do with rebellion and the foible, that no matter how much you have, no matter what happens, it's not enough. They're abusing you, and the whole world's against you. All the time, no matter what. Wait till I get the piano. Don't get that, it's not worth it. Okay, listen to us sing the tune the first time. Garbage cans of Gloucester unite, all join together in the fight. We deserve better garbage than we get. They keep promising and promising, and yet we are filled with the same old stuff once more. No one can blame us if we are feeling so. Now it's your turn. All righty, are you ready? Garbage cans of Gloucester unite, all join together in the fight. We deserve better garbage than we get. They keep promising and promising, and yet we are filled with the same old stuff once more. No one can blame us if we are feeling so. Okay, now, I would now like you to meet some friends. Believe it or not, I have a few, not many, but they're choice. Tom, Dick, and Harry.
I'm hungry.
Try not to think about it.
Oh, that's easy for you to say.
You have your very own turkey carcass.
And it's even growing mold.
Short, fuzzy mold.
Just the way we like it.
You're jealous.
We're hungry.
Well, it's not my fault if no one wants to put garbage in you. Now look at yourselves. Disgusting.
I couldn't help it.
Look at that swinging can. Are we all ready?
I'm ready.
Me too.
I'm really ready.
We meet here together to protest the
Colossal.
one that must not continue. It's been going on too long. My fellow cans, it is time to fight. Fight for our proper place in society. We have feelings, we have pride, and we deserve a position of respect. Garbage cans of Gloucester unite.
Yes, unite!
All join together in the fight.
We will fight!
We deserve better garbage than we get. They keep promising and promising, and yet we are filled with the same old stuff once more.
No one can blame us if we are feeling
Sore.
With us, cans, it's the enemies of the family. Sometimes we're so full that everything's hanging out. But usually, most of the time, you're being bounced around, back and forth, back and forth. We need someone who cares about us. We need security. All together. Garbage cans of Gloucester unite.
Yes,
All join together in the fight. We deserve better garbage than we get. They keep promising and promising, and yet we are filled with the same old stuff of the war. No one can blame us if we are feeling sore.
Well, then we do finally at last get some decent swill, and it begins to ferment. It is removed. Why can't it be left to ferment? We deserve consideration and to say in our own destiny. They know. There is nothing better than fermented grapes, berries, and assorted goodies.
Garbage cans of Gloucester unite. All join together in the fight. We deserve better garbage than we get. We keep promising and promising and yet we are filled with the same old stuff once more. No one can blame us if we
are feeling so.
As a group, we are discriminated against. We are victims of abuse. As a can, I resent being kicked, dropped, rammed, stuffed, sweared at, beaten, and turned upside down, and then left alone to fend for myself. Why? What was my crime? What was my crime?
Yeah.
I'll tell you of my crime, my guilt. I am guilty, yes, guilty of sometimes not possibly being able to hold any more filthy, dirty, disgusting, smelly garbage. The refuse I love, the trash I need, the stench I desire. For that heinous crime, I am shunned, left alone, empty, left to starve.
As cans, are we insensitive?
No!
No! Therefore, now this instant, we must take our message to the world.
Garbage cans of Gloucester unite.
the night shadows seem dreamy and slow. Midnight music, it eases my for the second time. Been there, done that. First of all, David is filming this thing, and as the cassette will not be sold in stores, there is a list if you want a copy of it outside. All of the money made is going to go to the animal shelter in Gloucester. Now, the next section. I wrote that song at the Copper Plaza Hotel way back in '06 at 3 o'clock in the morning, where I met the guy who just died, who was the head of the numbers racket, and the head of the mafia. I didn't know who they all were until the papers later. They were all talking about the lottery they were going to do, and they wanted to know how you could stop people from stealing from it. And anyway, that was the night I wrote this song. Anyway, also when I was writing, I did most of my best work between the hours of 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock a.m. And something more than ordinary is no exception. An old man, my friend, who I pick on mercilessly, Bowden, ladies and gentlemen. He's a wonderful... This is about a foible I think is erasable. And ordinary is about resentment. And even if there's a good reason for it, it hurts you resenting more than it does the person resented. Anyhow, that's what that thing is about. And I need my glasses desperately because I'll have to read lines later. And I have a very bad memory. Okay. An old man stands on an empty stage. An old man. I mean, a very much older than me. Years older. Decades. Millennia. Anyhow, he stands on an empty stage and he starts screaming at his past. His past seizes the opportunity and screams back. Kurt! Kurt Schiller, is that you? Kurt? Come, you have deliveries to make.
You're dead. Leave me alone.
Kurt?
June 6th, 1910. Mr. Kurt Schuller, 50 Fenway Place, Boston, Massachusetts. Dear Mr. Schuller, stop.
That's me. But I'm here. I look so clean.
Kurt?
I'm not your delivery boy anymore. I sold the brewery. Prohibition, Papa. I punched tickets in the train for 35 years because of you.
We'll talk at home.
Home is gone, Papa.
Following your employment application to the Red Clover Steamship Company, we are pleased to offer you the position of assistant purser. Robert Wayland, our purser, was pleased with your qualifications and your interview. Stop.
That telegram from the Red Clover Lines, even they had confidence in me. Why didn't you?
The shipments, Kurt.
No, this is 1951. There are no more shipments.
And turn up! And turn up!
Turner?
And turn up! I'm going! I'm really going!
How lovely, Kurt. I'm so proud of you.
I'm sorry I had this on my house, Turner.
And I hope your father will be proud also.
2 more weeks and it won't matter.
And I couldn't even save the roses. Ships all sailing into Boston Bay, loaded with goods gonna sail today. Some have been whaling, most have been fishing, most have been wishing they were home to stay.
Men are coming into Boston town. Take to the woods if you ain't going down. Some will be hugging, more will be singing, and we'll all be bringing back the same old frown. To Boston, 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 Mass, Boston, Massachusetts. Boston, Boston, good old Boston, Boston, Massachusetts.
Women all are rushing for their Boston beans, figuring the total of their ways and means. Some will be blushing, more will be blushing, and we'll all be dressing up to look like queens.
Boston, 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 Mass, Boston, Massachusetts.
Hoping that a bottle take them to 10 cheers.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Or we'll be conniving, and then I'll be driving each of us to tears. In Boston, 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 Mass, Boston, Massachusetts. Boston, Boston, good old Boston, Boston, Massachusetts. People are
Steaming into Boston Road, watching all the sailors on the ships unload. Some will be dreaming, more will be scheming, and we'll all be screaming till our lungs explode. Bring us fame, bring us fortune, bring us glory, bring us wealth, bring us laughter, bring us hope, bring adventure, bring tomorrow. To Boston, 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 Mass, Boston, Massachusetts. Boston, Boston, good old Boston, Boston, Massachusetts.
You know, it can be a decision made by someone that has nothing to do with you. It's made 200 miles away. Yet that very logical, simple decision changes your life forever.
Excuse me, but I'm lost.
Oh, really?
Oh, hello. You startled me.
I'm sorry. Can I help you?
Yes, my glasses. Did you see my glasses?
Oh, here you are.
Can I help you?
How good are you at giving directions?
That depends.
I'm looking for the Schuller residence, 50 Fenway Place.
Oh, I am perfect.
I've asked 4 other people for directions. A ragman sent me down this alley, but I can't see.
And what is your name, please?
Robert Wayland.
I am Anna Schuller.
Yes.
Schuller, 50 Fenway Place.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking for Kurt Schuller. There's been a change in the shipping schedule, and we will sail the day after tomorrow instead of next week.
Ah, then you must be the cursor?
Purser.
I'm sorry, but Kurt is at the brewery right now. And what is it that an assistant purser does, Mr. Violent?
Well, he handles the money and checks the cargo. And then someday, when I move on to a bigger ship with a bigger salary, he'll become the purser.
Why do you want bigger and bigger? Why not nicer and nicer?
I've never heard of a nice ship. They're all dirty and smelly and full of the sea.
They are?
Yes.
Then I don't think Kurt should go with you, and I don't think your parents should have let you go either.
Oh, they don't mind. They approve.
Your father approves?
He encouraged me.
Your mother approves?
She helped me pack.
And your wife?
I don't have a wife.
There, you see, she is sensible. She did not encourage you. She did not help you pack your bag. She did not... Mr. Violent,
Sucker.
you are a very charming young man.
Thank you.
And when you come and join us for tea this afternoon, you can talk with Kurt.
Tea?
Tea at 4 o'clock. Kurt is making deliveries now, but I know he will be home at 4.
Then I will see you at 4.
Wonderful.
4.
4.
Shadow shifting slowly, dark night, and you realize how you're not alone, that there's somewhere.
Dark eyes seem to be watching over you, silently calling your name while they're beckoning. There you are, you're on a hillside where she stands, her arms are falling, she still smiles, and you're enchanted again.
Morning comes, with the dawn you are saying that soon you must leave her. No, never again will she be near her.
For you must sail, another port calls and you look back, another night falls and you forget, the way her hair shone and you forget, she was not there at all, was not there at all. She was not there at all. She was not there at all. She was not there at all.
Now, Bob was in the house, and all of a sudden, he is no longer a single working stiff that has to make a salary. He's going to Harvard. He's paying court to the lady of the house, and he's lying through his teeth. Now, he could have stopped the lie at any time, and he was basically a very truthful person. Why he didn't? Well, here we are.
What's going on here? I'm not here to see Julie, and I don't know anything about Harvard.
Well, nobody does, dear. But I'm sorry. We couldn't tell him what it is that you really do. He would be upset.
He would be furious.
Be deranged.
I know, try using some big words. That'll make it sound like you go to Harvard.
I don't know any big words.
How about medium words?
How about dirty words?
I'm not going to do this. I'll never get away with it.
Oh, yes, you will, dear. Julie!
She'll tell Papa everything. I know she will.
Well, I know she will not.
How do you know?
Because I told her if she would say with one word who you really are, I shall stand up right in the middle of tea and in my best manner will recite what she wrote into her diary on May 17th.
What did she write?
Oh, I have not a clue. But from the look on her face, it must have been something quite, what is the word, juicy. For she never said 2 words since. I'm sure it will all be all right.
We
certain
must
of that.
watch the time. I have to be at a large meeting.
Oh, of course, Gustav. Oh, Julie, you look simply lovely. Now let's sit down and have some nice hot tea.
Perhaps you would like to tell us of your studies, Mr. Wright.
Perhaps.
Does not Harvard teach the law?
Yes. I mean, yes, sir. Mr. Sheryl, sir, Harvard is the law. The very best law.
And you do not like it. That is too bad. I was thinking that Kurt would attend there in the fall.
Papa, I don't want to go to Harvard. I want to go to sea.
You would give up Harvard for the sea?
Yes.
I would give up Harvard for a puddle.
What's wrong with the sea?
The men who go to
Papa!
Many fine men are sailors.
And many finer men are lawyers and businessmen. I'm sure you must have many such in your acquaintance, Mr. Violet.
Yes, several. Why, just the other day, I remarked to my old friend, Chum, how it was that all of my acquaintances are immersed, submerged,
Immersed.
immersed in piles and piles of piles. Books.
What kind of books?
Big books.
Where was it you met my daughter?
Over there.
Where?
Over there. He means way over there.
Where?
By the door, you idiot.
We met at the library, Father.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, such a lovely tea. Another sandwich, Mr. White?
Yes, please.
Yes, we were both looking for the same book.
Well, that's right.
how
Expectations.
extraordinary. I mean, what was the title of the book?
How to improve your vocabulary.
May I have another sandwich?
Me too.
And I shall join you. Unfortunately, it was being utilized elsewhere. Isn't that so, Mr. Violet?
Yes, that's right.
And so we had lunch together to lament the fact. Isn't that so, Mr. Violet?
Yes, that's right.
And then Mr. Violet proceeded to talk about the attributes of Harvard. Isn't that
Yes,
so, Mr.
that's
Violet?
right.
And it was so fascinating, informative, and revealing. I asked him to tea.
Not.
What is your course of study, Mr. Violet?
Crude.
Papa, isn't it time for your lodge meeting?
Oh, my dear, yes. I'm sure we will talk again, Mr. Violet.
I'm sure that we will.
Oh, yes, I want so much to hear more stories about Harvard.
So do I.
And we'll have dinner on time. Good night, Mr. Violet.
Good afternoon, sir.
We'll have a nice meeting, Gustav.
We shall see. We shall see.
Kurt, would you come and help me, please, to get the tray off the shelf?
What tray?
Oh, the one on the shelf. Please.
All right, all right.
Thank you for helping out.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry about the sandwiches were delightful.
Yes, they were.
So is the tea.
Yes, it was.
So are you. Your dress.
Yes, they... I mean, it is. Thank you. He makes me nervous. I shiver inside. All of my being says don't lose your pride. But if I keep
I say something astute or profound, how should I say it, and how would it sound? She must hate me, I might as well quit. All we can do with each other is sit.
I'm very worried about Kurt. He's very young, Mr. Violet.
Call me Bob. What is she thinking when she looks at me? What does she look for, and what does she see? Maybe I ought to just get up and go. Before we are finished, it may start to snow.
Oh, he must hate me. I haven't been nice. The air in this yard must be ready to slice. My forehead is sweaty. My fingers are cold. I'm sure any second I'll start growing old. This is so awful. I feel like a fool. Why do I act when my first day in school?
My fingers are freezing, my forehead is wet. I'm sure any minute I'll drown in my sweat.
Why, he looks angry. What can I do?
How can I reach her? I haven't a clue. We have done nothing but fight since I came. She doesn't like me.
He doesn't like me.
She doesn't like me, and that seems a shame.
Time passes as time has a tendency to do, and life changes. Children leave home, they get other activities, and the old folks are left at home playing gin.
Gin.
Every damn time.
Well, with a look like that on your face, I don't blame the cards for coming over to me. Gustav, are you thinking of your son?
I'm thirsty. Where's Katie?
Why are you drinking so much?
Katie!
Shh, Gustav. After 5 months, certainly, Kurt could be forgiven.
Katie! Julie is spending too much time at the library. What is so important about books? I cannot my children learn as I did.
And what did you learn, Gustav Schiller?
Respect, diligence, and the man must have something to show.
Mm-hmm. And what about the ocean breezes and the roses?
He left when I needed him most.
And how about you? You left for America?
Children, children, what can you tell them? Children, children, what can you say? Tell them something you take for granted, and they seem to just turn away. Then they think that they know all, just because they're young. I was young once, and all I remember, children, children, so will you.
The wind blows, whispering secrets the sky. from the shore as it rides on the wind, calling to me in the sunrise. I see the sunrise over the ocean, the sunrise, leading me on with the song of the sea, leading me on to be free. And my anchor is gone, and my sails are all gone, and the wind is blowing against me. Let go,
My son,
let go,
my son,
my maps are all wrong, and the coast doesn't hold, and the tide is turning against me. Let go,
my son,
let go.
my son.
The wind blows, the wind blows, whispering secrets the sky knows. Over the rooftops and in from the sea, finding me naked as I and I hear a gull cry, searching and soaring the
I
ground.
was young once, and I remembered children, children,
Calling to me,
so
Gustav? Gustav, do you love your son?
he is my son.
Do you love him?
Jim!
Let me see that. That is a jack and not a king. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Where is Julie? She should be home by now.
Well, how old is your daughter?
25.
Have you ever thought of her as a young woman, someone capable of thought and reason and worthy of a degree of trust?
What are you saying?
Well, I'm saying that someday she will make a perfect housekeeper or governess.
She's not in your place yet.
My place?
Cut.
My place? Gustav, I want to thank you for something. I've wanted to for a long time. Thank you for nothing. Oh, nothing less than kind is nothing more than just for putting up with all my mindless little way of looking at nothing and making it something. Something more than ordinary. Something more than every day. Something more than mediocre. Something, what more can I say? That I want to thank you for nothing less than honor, nothing more than just for looking up and without any cliche. You have given this morning.
I am waiting
to be someone who is wanted downstairs, someone not just in the rain, someone who is needed upstairs. I am needed. What more can I say? For there is nothing more pathetic than an old maid nobody wants, in a little room sipping at her tea from a little cup, never looking up, for there is nothing there to see. But But an empty chair you cannot ignore, and a candy box from the year before. Solitaire, sweep the floor, and you wait for knocks at your bolted door, and you wait, and you wait, and you learn how to hate. For in your heart you start to feel like something less than good for nothing, something less than second best, something less than. But I want to thank you for nothing less than living, nothing more than just your looking up, and will you pardon the cliche? You have given me something to someone who had nothing. This makes you someone more than extra special, someone more than every day, someone more than ordinary, someone. What more can I say? Then I want to thank you.
Braun, my friend. Lady May I Sing With You was written about a piano bar. And you can't find any more foibles any place on earth than you can find at the piano bar. And it was the Lenox Hotel, and it was 1979, and it was downtown Boston. In the Diamond Gym room, a little old lady who was 75 played piano 6 nights a week, from 9 o'clock in the evening till 1 o'clock in the morning, and she had done so for years, and she did it until the 80s. Her name was Gladys Trautel, and I think that broad got me into more trouble than any other female alive, with possible exception of my ex-wife. Anyway, this 20th century brings with it a new foible. It's called strangeness in advertising. They say it pays to advertise, a picture's worth 1,000 words. It's hidden things not seen that count, not seen but still observed. Subliminal seduction, pictures never seen, hidden by a fleeting glance, flash across the screen.
Writings on an ice cube,
The secret in her hair,
Or in the feathers of a bird who doesn't know they're there. I can, you can, we can, they can't, and then they could, I could, you could, if we don't do it, then they should.
Then they should.
Subliminal seduction tries to make it plain. Others seem to get it all, then others feel the same, that only we are getting some. Those others are so sure we all are victims of our
may, you may, we may, they may, and others might, I will, you will, we will also. Why the fight? Why the fight? Why the fight? Why the fight?
Subliminal seduction is put on crackers next. So when you think of crackers, well, you then should think of sex.
Now what on earth would happen if the reverse were true? So when you felt seductive,
Only a Ritz would do.
I see, you see, we see, and yes, we notice. I have, you had, we had, unseen, and that is all, that is all. It was Gladys in 79.
but all you're saying that soon you must leave her. No, never again will she be near her. For you must sail, another port calls and you look back. Another night falls and you forget the way her hair shone and you forget she was not there at all, was not there at all. She was not there at all. She was not there at all. She was not there at all.
Now, Bob was in the house, and all of a sudden, he is no longer a single working stiff that has to make a salary. He's going to Harvard. He's paying court to the lady of the house, and he's lying through his teeth. Now, he could have stopped the lie at any time, and he was basically a very truthful person. Why he didn't, well, carry on.
What's going on here? I'm not here to see Julie, and I don't know anything about Harvard.
Well, nobody does, dear. But I'm sorry, we couldn't tell him what it is that you really do. He would be upset.
He would be furious.
Be deranged.
I know. Try using some big words. That'll make it sound like I go to Harvard.
I don't know any big words.
How about medium words?
How about dirty words?
I'm not going to do this. I'll never get away with it.
Oh, yes, you will, dear. Julie!
She'll tell Papa everything. I know she will.
Well, I know she will not.
How do you know?
Because I told her if she would say with one word who you really are, I shall stand up right in the middle of tea and in my best manner will recite what she wrote into her diary on May 17th.
What did she write?
Oh, I have not a clue. But from the look on her face, it must have been something quite, what is the word, juicy. For she never said two words since. I'm sure it will all be all right. I'm
We
certain
must
of that.
watch the time. I have to be at a large meeting.
Oh, of course, Gustav. Oh, Julie, you look simply lovely. Now let's sit down and have some nice hot tea.
Perhaps you would like to tell us of your studies, Mr. Wright.
Perhaps.
Does not Harvard teach the law?
Yes. I mean, yes, sir. Mr. Sheryl, sir, Harvard is the law. The very best law.
And you do not like it. That is too bad. I was thinking that Kirk would attend there in the fall.
Papa, I don't want to go to Harvard. I want to go to sea.
You would give up Harvard for the sea?
Yes.
I would give up Harvard for a puddle.
What's wrong with the sea?
The men who go to it.
Papa!
Many fine men are sailors.
And many finer men are lawyers. And businessmen, I'm sure you must have many such in your acquaintance, Mr. Vine.
Yes, several. Why, just the other day, I remarked to my old friend, Chum, how it was that all of my acquaintances are immersed in piles and piles of piles. Books.
What kind of books?
Big books.
Where was it you met my daughter?
Over there.
Where?
Over there. He means way over there.
Where?
By the door, you idiot.
We met at the library, Father.
Oh.
Such a lovely tea. Another sandwich, Mr. White?
Yes, please.
Yes, we were both looking for the same book.
Yes, that's right.
How
Expectations.
extraordinary. I mean, what was the title of the book?
How to improve your vocabulary.
May I have another sandwich?
Me too.
And I shall join you.
Unfortunately, it was being utilized elsewhere. Isn't that so, Mr. Violet?
Yes, that's right.
And so we had lunch together to lament the fact. Isn't that so, Mr. Violent?
Yes, that's right.
And then Mr. Violent proceeded to talk about the attributes of Harvard. Isn't that
Yes,
so, Mr.
that's
Violent?
right.
And it was so fascinating, informative, and revealing. I asked him to teach.
Not.
What is your course of study, Mr. Vine?
Crew.
Papa, isn't it time for your lodge meeting?
Oh, my dear, yes. I'm sure we will talk again, Mr. Vine.
I'm sure that we will.
Oh, yes, I want so much to hear more stories about Harvard.
So do I. And we'll have dinner on. Good night, Mr. Vine.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, have a nice meeting, Gustav.
We shall see. We shall see.
Kurt, would you come and help me, please, to get the tray off the shelf?
What tray?
Oh, the one on the shelf. Please.
All right.
Thank you for helping out.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry about... The sandwiches were delightful.
Yes, they were.
So is the tea.
Yes, it was.
So are you. Your dress.
Yes, I mean, it is. Thank you. He makes me nervous. I shiver inside. All of my being says don't lose your pride. But if I keep it by walking away, I may not see him again, so stay.
Should I say something astute or profound? How should I say it, and how would it sound? If she must hate me, I might as well quit. All we can do with each other is sit.
I'm very worried about Kurt. He's very young, Mr. Violet.
Call me Bob. What is she thinking when she looks at me? What does she look for, and what does she see? Maybe I ought to just get up and go. Before we are finished, it may start to snow.
Oh, he must hate me. I haven't been nice. The air in this yard must be ready to slice.
She doesn't like me, and that seems a shame.
Time passes as time has a tendency to do, and life changes. Children leave home, they get other activities, and the old folks are left at home playing jig.
Gin.
Every damn time.
Well, with a look like that on your face, I don't blame the cards for coming over to me. Gustav, are you thinking of your son?
I'm thirsty. Where's Katie?
Why are you drinking so much?
Katie!
Shh, Gustav. After 5 months, certainly Kurt could be forgiven.
Katie! Julie is spending too much time at the library. What is so important about books? I can let my children learn as I did.
And what did you learn, Gustav Schiller?
Respect, diligence, and the man must have something to show.
Mm-hmm. And what about the ocean breezes and the roses?
He left when I needed him most.
And how about you? You left for America?
Children, children, what can you tell them? Children, children, what can you say? Tell them something you take for granted, and they seem to just turn away. Then they think that they know all, just because they're young. I was young once, and all I remember, children, children, so will you.
The wind blows, the wind blows, whispering secrets the sky knows. Over the rooftops and in from the sea, finding me here at a time. And I hear a gull cry, searching and soaring the gull cries, far from the shore as it rides on the wind, calling me in the sun. I see the sunrise over the ocean, the sunrise, leading me on with its song of the sea, leading me on to be free. And my anchor is gone, and my sails are all gone, and the wind is blowing against me. Let go,
My son,
let go,
my son,
my mats are all blown, and the coast doesn't hold, and the tide is turning against me. children, all you told me so will sing.
Gustav? Gustav, do you love your son?
He is my son.
And do you love him?
Jim!
Let me see that. That is a jack and not a king. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Where is Julie? She should be home by now.
Well, how old is your daughter?
25.
Have you ever thought of her as a young woman, someone capable of thought and reason and worthy of a degree of trust?
What are you saying?
Well, I'm saying that someday she will make a perfect housekeeper or governess.
She's not in your place yet.
My place?
Cut.
My place? Gustav, I want to thank you for something. I've wanted to for a long time. Thank you for nothing. Oh, nothing less than kindness, nothing more than just for putting up with all my mind's little way of looking at nothing and making it something. Something more than ordinary, something more than everyday, something more than mediocre, something, what more can I say? That I want to thank you for nothing less than honor, nothing more than just for looking up and without any cliche. You have given this morning,
I am waiting
to be someone who is wanted downstairs, someone not just in the way, someone who is needed upstairs. I am needed, what more can I say? For there is nothing more pathetic than an old maid nobody wants, in a little room sipping at her tea from a little cup, never looking up, for there is nothing there to see. But an empty chair you cannot ignore, and a candy box from the year before. Solitaire, sweep the floor, and you wait for knocks at your bolted door, and you wait and you wait and you learn how to hate. For in your heart you start to feel like something less than good for nothing, something less than second best, something less than. But I want to thank you for nothing less than living, nothing more than just your looking up, and will you pardon the cliche? You have given me something to someone who had nothing. This makes you someone more than extra special, someone more than everyday, someone more than ordinary, someone, what more can I say? Then I want to thank you
about a piano bar. And you can't find any more foibles any place on earth than you can find at the piano bar. And it was the Lenox Hotel, and it was 1979, and it was downtown Boston. In the Diamond Gym room, a little old lady who was 75 played piano 6 nights a week from 9 o'clock in the evening till 1 o'clock in the morning, and she had done so for years, and she did it until the 80s. Her name was Gladys Trautel, and I think that broad got me into more trouble than any other female alive, with possible exception of my ex-wife. Anyway, this 20th century brings with it a new foible. It's called strangeness in advertising. They say it pays to advertise, a picture's worth 1,000 words. It's hidden things not seen that count, not seen but still observe. Subliminal seduction, pictures never seen, hidden by a fleeting glance, flash across the screen.
Writings on an ice cube,
The secret in her hair,
Or in the feathers of a bird who doesn't know they're there. I can, you can, we can, they can't, and then they could, I could, you could. If we don't do it, then they should.
Then they should.
Then they should.
subliminal seduction tries to make it plain. Others seem to get it all, then others feel the same. That only we are getting some, those others are so sure. We all are victims of ourselves, we all are insecure.
I may, you may, we may, they may, and others might. I will, you will, we will also. Why the fight? Why the fight? Why the fight? Why the fight?
Subliminal seduction is put on crackers next. So when you think of crackers, well, you then should think of sex.
Now what on earth would happen if the reverse were true? So when you felt seductive,
Only a Ritz would do.
I see, you see, we see, and yes, we notice. I have, you had, we have, I see, and that is all, that is all. Gladys' 79th birthday, and they wanted me to write a song for her. So we all got together, and we decided how we found this crazy place called the Diamond Gym Room in the Lenox Hotel. Autumn leaves and twirling air, city steeples, no one there, people walking all alone to strange neutral ways, not in our home. No one in the world but me, no one there to find me, no one in the world but me, yet someone is behind me. One door open, I can hide, music playing all inside, people singing in a room, a piano sounds. I know not who. A gracious lady plays a song, yet someone is behind me. Lady, may I sing with you? The day is long and friends are few. Lonely faces all around are asking questions. Nothing's fine. But night and music soon are one. Tones are struck and songs are sung. Look into the lady's eyes, she understands. She too has cried. No one in the world but me, and no one there to find me. No one in the world but me, yet someone is behind me. Every piano bar has to have a sing-along, which is you turn to the back side. This one is about a frog. Well, you know. Anyway, we need help. I need help. I get very nervous. And the chorus goes like so. I'm going to Connemara, I'll get there when I can. I'm going to Connemara, I'm such a lonely man. I've packed my few belongings, and I should be there right soon. If not in the morning, at least by afternoon. Now it's your turn. And you better be louder than you were the first time. I'm going to Connemara, I'll get there when I can. I'm going to Connemara, I'm such a lonely man. I packed my few belongings, I should be there right soon. If not in the morning, at least by afternoon. Now the other thing you're going to have to do is watch the conductor. Have we heard that? And for instance, I'm going to Connemara. I'll get there when I can. That's important. Now we can start the song. And you better do it right. I get very vicious. A frog sat by a lily pond and croaked and croaked and croaked. The frog thought he was singing, for he hadn't meant a joke. Passers-by all laughed at him as he began to sing, but he didn't know what laughter meant. So it didn't mean a thing.
There was a lonely little man who led a lonely life. One day he packed his bags along with all his cares and strife. A friend stopped by to ask him,
Why must you depart?
He said,
I'm searching for a new life, and now is when I start. I'm going to Connemara, I'll get there when I can. I'm going to Connemara, I'm such a lonely man. I packed my few belongings, I should be there right soon. If not in the morning, at least by afternoon.
the man walked by the lily pond, oh how that frog did sound. It was awful as he rested on the ground.
I'd rather be a hooter, or a lizard, or a hawk.
So God for him decided, and the man became a frog.
The frog sat on a lily pond and croaked and croaked and croaked. The one thought it was a fool, for he didn't get the joke. The other thought it funny, or at least a little strange, when his partner tried to sing this simple old refrain.
I'm going to Connemara, I'll get there when I can. I'm
As time went on, passing well, the two frogs got along. They learned from one another that each could sing a song. So God in his great wisdom turned the one back to a man, and the other learned that life goes on, if there's anything that can.
Now there was a lonely little man who led a lonely life. Once more he packed his baggage along with all his cares to strive. His trip to Connemara he was bound again to try. His friend said, "You'll get there, God willing." And this was his reply. I'm going to Connemara. I'll get there when I can. I'm going to Connemara. I'm such a lonely man. I packed my few belongings, but I have no magic wand. But I'm going to Connemara because there is absolutely no way. I'm going back and where would I be? They fly down and they drag you. Uh-oh. Ribbit. Happy afternoon. If these shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended. That you did but slumber here, while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle thing, no more yielding but agreeing. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. Else good cock of thy recall. So good night unto all. Give me your hand if we be friends, and Robin shall restore. Amen. Great Bowden, Thomas Brown, Roby, Sheryl, Trautel, and the one person who is irreplaceable in this whole silly mess is my dear friend who plays the piano, David Olsen.